Louisville, Kentucky, and Sticker granddaughter. She can get it under control. We'll be ready to go.
Get what?
How's it going out there? How's the weather? We got a little bit of snow going on here. What's going on out there? Talk about some things here in a minute after we get some people in here. Show what's on the table. Yeah, about 9 months before Capitol Records was behind the Beatles in America, Capitol Records of Canada was trying everything to sell them in Canada. I got all the 9 unique releases on Capitol Records here on the table from Canada from 63 and 64. So in November of 1963, Capitol Records released Beatlemania with the Beatles with all 14 tracks from Please Please Me on it. The copy I got here is stone mint condition, never been played, as I opened it up. Got the loud cut. Got the original inner sleeve from Canada, Capitol Records. And I'll talk about these singles.
Gordon T said, "Welcome, I speak God love to your whole family."
How you doing?
DV10136 said, "Hi Frank, Dan in Florida."
Dan in Florida, how you doing? Dan in Florida.
Uncle,
Have you been here before? Uncle Paul's here today.
He said, "Good Wednesday evening, Sticker family. Did the DVD show up?"
Yeah, I did. But the next morning they released it on YouTube, and it's had 2 million views in a matter of 3 days.
Dan.
Catching up with Sabrina, but the #1 watched video from the Grammy Awards is Benson Boone, if you can believe that, with Beautiful Things. This is Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. This is his business card, exclusive membership card. Thanks a lot there, Uncle Paul.
Danny Goldstein said, "Hi Sticker family."
How you doing?
Daniel Castillo said, "Staying warm, Frank."
Staying warm.
Trying.
Yeah, we're having to put the temperature on the thermostat at about 75, so we get about 68. They can't offset all the cold weather right at the moment.
Danny Goldstein said, "Actually, the first Beatles record issued in North America was My Bonnie on Decca in Canada."
Yeah, but the first album was the one I just showed.
DV101 said, "Dan in Florida says you recently sent me my first butcher."
All right. Do you like it?
Uncle Paul said, "Oh, thanks, Frank."
Okay, we're going to talk about these singles and I'll take some more messages.
Go ahead.
Wait, can I read these few real quick?
Yes.
A Little Buddha's Corner said, "Hi, all. Hope the Sticker family."
How you doing, Patricia? I got your postcard from Liverpool. Thanks.
Danny Goldstein said, "Everyone here is named Dan tonight." Thomas Crook said, "Hello, Sticker family."
How you doing, Thomas Crook?
Mr. Beatles Pro said, "Hello and good evening, everybody."
Mr. Beatles Pro, Tom's here. We're going to see you at the Fest for Beatle fans in New Jersey, or do you only go to the one in Chicago? I saw your last couple videos you put up there, Tom, Beatles Pro. Pretty good. Is your health coming back together? So here are the 9 releases that are unique to Canada. We got Love Me Do. These are all in excellent hardly played condition. I made a deal on these the other day, about 4 days ago. Love Me Do is a -2. And how you know you got an early pressing, it's got side A underneath the Capitol Records. Side B under the Capitol Records. All the rest of these don't have the side A, side B on it. They have the original matte Capitol company sleeve from Canada. So you got the Love Me Do, You got the Please Please Me, the second release. Look how shiny that record is. Notice it says McCartney Lennon on the credits instead of Lennon McCartney. John Lennon wasn't too happy about that. Then you got From Me to You, the third release. And it also has McCartney Lennon with Thank You Girl on the back. Then we're to She Loves You. Roll Over Beethoven, they released in Canada. Which George Harrison singing the Chuck Berry song with Please Mr. Postman on the B-side. Like old Gary Hine used to say, it's shiny like a mirror. All My Lovin' was a unique one only to Canada. With B-side was This Boy, which was the B-side of I Want to Hold Your Hand in England. Then we got Twist and Shout on Capitol Records. That looks pretty strange compared to the United States. And There's a Place with McCartney Lennon credits on the back. Do You Want a Secret? The one John Lennon wrote a song for George to sing, Do You Want to Know a Secret? Don't know if Paul helped out on that or not. It also says McCartney Lennon on both sides. And then the rarest one of them all on these Canada ones, besides the first pressing of Let Me Do, is, if I can say this right, Subleep Deitch. And it says The Beatles instead of The Beatles, which it says on the B-side. It's got the German The Beatles. That's alone, that's probably a $200 record.
Clean up comments.
DV101 said, Love My Butcher, the Holy Grail.
Yep, Butcher, the Holy Grail. Andy from Two Legs, he says his number one goal this year in Beatles collecting is to get a Butcher cover.
A little Beatles corner.
And then you skip Mr. Beatles.
So if somebody's interested in all these 9 in excellent condition, I'd sell this whole lot for $800.
Mr. Beatles Pro said, as of right now, yes, I am.
All right.
Jersey.
And then Uncle Paul said, Ari, you got those pink nails going. LOL, glad to see you back. Missed the Saturday. I know. I'm so happy.
1963.
Danny Goldstein said, gorgeous records.
All right, we caught it.
1963. This is very rare. Only 2,000 of these were made. Probably one of the best condition, top 5 condition in the world. The 1963 original Beatles fan club from England. No wear at all to the fold out sleeve. These usually show all kinds of wear. And the reason it's in such good shape, it was in this original mailing envelope for 50 years in England. It has a date, a postal date of December 24th, 63 on the top. And it was sent to a Miss J. Hine in Lichfield, Strathshire, England. And I already told Mikey Arugula, because he needs this to complete his collection of Beatles fan club records, that I'd sell it to him for $600, but he hasn't given me a yay or nay yet. That is pretty nice.
George Music for All Seasons said, hello, Sticker Mania, Sticker Granddaughter, and Gallery.
How you doing, George, from All Music Seasons?
Uncle
George
Paul
Music.
said, hi, Travis.
I know I said hello.
Okay.
Lunchbox, I got the whole set here today. 1965, I got my Mikey Arugula shirt on. This is a C9 condition lunchbox. No dents. Hardly any, a little scratch right there on one of the rims. Not gonna find them any nicer than that. White inside with the original thermos clip. the matching thermos with unbroken glass. And I got the matching brunch bag that the girls bought. Came out at the same time. Got a completely no damage to the zipper. Opens up. So that's the ultimate set to get in Beatles and lunchbox. Beatles lunchboxes. This whole set I would sell for $4,000. I sold a set of these a few years ago for $4,000. All right, what'd you guys think of the Paul McCartney Saturday Night Live when he did the medley from Abbey Road a couple nights ago? I watched it live. I think they sweetened up the sound a little bit now on the replays. He was struggling, but he had done 3 nights at the Bowery Ballroom before then, 3 shows, and he was on real late the last part, 11:30 at night, on the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary.
Uncle Paul said so. Frank, Saturday Night Live 50th.
We got a bunch of
A
comments.
little
about it.
Beatles corner. The two leg guys defended the Paul vocal controversy when whether Paul should continue performing pretty well. Glad to
Yeah,
see
well, one reason that Andy defended him is that he went and saw he saw the second Paul McCartney show at the Bowery Ballroom, so it was fresh in his mind. But I'll tell you this. If I had been in the audience that night, I would have been like Mike Myers, who was on the front row. He was bawling his eyes out.
Uncle Paul.
And I would have been too.
Uncle Paul said my buddy Mike got his picture with Paul. Danny Goldstein said he looked tired and didn't sound good.
Yeah, and he knew it too. You could tell by his reaction. He knew he was struggling to hit the notes.
Daniel Castillo said I thought he was the usual Paul, a bit washed up. His age is catching up to him.
That's true, but he's a trooper, and he makes the world a better place. So him and Ringo, especially when they're together, so we got to respect the legend while they're still here. They've given us so much enjoyment. So after I watched that the next day, I played the whole side on my 1973 France contract. I played the whole side too. And Paul was 26 when the Beatles recorded Abbey Road. And my faith was all back there with Paul. So I'll give him credit. At 82, he went out and sang it. But it's strange that they had Keith Richards in the audience, and he didn't show any reaction when Paul was singing.
George Music for All Season. George Music for All Season says so much controversy of McCartney's performance. It was a damn good performance, for God's sake. He's 82 and a rock royalty.
Yes, you're right. He's at the toppermost of the poppermosts.
Brad Parnell said Chris Parnell took a great candid shot of McCartney chatting with Paul Simon during the closing of the show.
Yeah, Paul Simon was struggling too, but they did a terrific thing putting Sabrina Carpenter doing a duet with Paul Simon. Because Paul Simon, if he had been out there on his own, he couldn't have pulled it off. But Sabrina Carpenter sure helped him out.
Daniel Castillo said, I feel these rock stars need to go on a high note.
Go up, you mean retire?
Go out on a high note.
Oh, go on a high
I
note.
mean, sports people don't. There's all kinds of them that stay.
That's true. The sports, you would never expect a sports basketball or a baseball player to perform at 80 years old.
Okay. Uncle.
And here's one other note about me listening to the Abbey Road there when Paul was 26. The Beatles went out on top, and my girl, CHAPPELL ROAN, turned 27 today. It was her birthday. So she
I'll grab that.
So she is older than when Paul recorded Abbey Road. That's just hard to believe. Paul was only 24 years old when they did Sgt. Pepper. This is my Nimbus Supercut that I got. I've sold half of what in trade. The retired DJ from New Hampshire wants a sealed Magical Mystery Tour in the Sgt. Pepper Near Mint Nimbus Supercut from 1984, and he gave me some extra things he had, and I'm up to half the amount now in trade, so I can mail these out to him. I got to sell some more, and then you'll have to pay part cash.
Okay, there's a lot. T-Shirt Express said, "What did I miss?"
What did you miss?
Just Saturday Night Live talking about Paul and a few Butcher covers. Danny Goldstein said, "Cherish Paul while he's still with us. He's living history, so he gets a pass in my book."
Yeah, he gets a free pass. You're right, but it's. I said a few months ago I thought it would have been better when Paul goes out and does a concert if he had guest stars like Mickey Dolenz and Chrissy Hine and Dave Grohl would come out and do a couple songs. Like Dave Grohl could do Helter Skelter, and Mickey Dolenz could do Rocky Raccoon, and Chrissy Hine could do Oh Darling. I think that's what Paul's probably going to have to do if he's going to keep going on tour. But that's my opinion. That's my personal opinion.
Danny Goldstein said, "You didn't see Michael Jordan playing at 50.
No.
Mr. Beatles Pro said, "IMO. All Paul needs to do is what the Stones did years ago. Throw in a couple background singers that can hit those notes."
Well, Paul's got those background singers, but if he had done a Hard Day's Night or Can't Buy Me Love like he did at the beginning of the Bowery Ballroom concerts, it would have sounded better. But he on that Golden Slumber, he was all on his own for the first part, and that's where he was struggling.
Dave Evans said, "Amazing. He still wants us to appear before his fans. He truly adores us and appreciates our support."
Yes.
Danny Goldstein said, "Paul Simon just announced 5 nights in the Beacon Theater in the summer."
Wow.
Yep, Paul Simon's got to go out again. He has some hearing problems. I hope he has some singers to help him through it.
Daniel Castillo said, "Are you having trader's remorse?"
Trader's remorse on the Sgt. Pepper Nimbus Supercut?
Yeah.
I don't know. I may never get another one, but I've made the deal. I'm halfway there now.
Danny Goldstein said, "One thing to keep in mind that I discovered is the dynamic range you get on your TV is not what you hear when you are sitting in an audience live. Paul likely sounded better in the NBC studio."
Yes, it's tough that the TV sound.
DV101 said, "Paul was 26 doing Abbey Road. That's crazy insane."
26, yep.
Damn.
But did anybody see that Michael Myers was bawling his eyes out there at the front row? Mike Myers, you know what's his famous movies, Mike Myers?
Michael Myers, the horror movie?
Wayne's
Austin.
World.
Wayne's World, Austin
Powers.
Austin Powers.
Danny Goldstein said, "I saw him twice at the O2 in December and he sounded great. Yet when I watched the videos from those shows on YouTube, he didn't sound good."
So Mike Myers is a big Beatles freak, and Tom Hanks is a big Beatles freak. There's a lot of them out there. Jimmy Fallon, he's got to be a big Beatles freak.
Brad Parnell said, "I thought Chrissy Hine did a terrible version of Let It Be on The Art of McCartney. I thought it was the worst song on the album."
She did. She helped him when he was doing that Oh Darling several years ago.
Danny Goldstein.
Did anybody, Tom from Beatles Pro, what did you think when Mickey Dolenz did Rocky Raccoon there at the Fest for Beatle fans last August? I thought it was tremendous.
Danny Goldstein, so there is definitely a loss of dynamic range on TV. A Little Beatles Corner said he could have been sick or any other kind of problem. We don't know.
Yeah, well, the problem was that he did 3 nights before then, for an 82-year-old man, I think that was too much.
Danny Goldstein said Mike Myers is from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Dave Evans said, Frank, you will get your hands on another Nimbus.
We'll see.
And then Uncle Paul said they did 4 soundtracks, by the way, for blocking as well.
For
sound
what?
checks.
They did
4
4
sound checks before.
Oh, they did 4.
before that Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
I figured they had to do some. He couldn't have just done that cold. So this was part of the trade for my Nimbus Supercut, and I sold this this for $1,000 today. Original Beatles and Frank Ifield portrait cover. I had a nicer one I sold a couple weeks ago to my Mexican Beatles group that I sold for $3,700. All right. Any other questions? I'll start showing.
Daniel Castillo said, look up Little Richard last performance. I think Paul will end up the same.
So he's talking about.
But I want to bring that up. Little Richard. Little Richard and Lonnie Donegan. That was mentioned. Little Richard was mentioned in the Complete Beatles documentary. Little Richard was mentioned in the Bob Dylan Complete Unknown movie. Little Richard was mentioned in the Led Zeppelin Becoming Led Zeppelin. So if all 3 of those artists were influenced by Little Richard, I better start buying some Little Richard and give him some serious listens. For him to influence all 3 of them is just amazing.
T-Shirt Express said, spoke to Greg Fio. He is busy tonight, so he can't make it here. Mike Myers is Canadian, not from Liverpool.
All right.
Brad?
Yeah, you're right. He is from. I should have known that right away. He's from Canada.
Yeah, Brad said that. And then Daniel Castillo said, Paul has always said Little Richard was one of, if not his biggest influence. He played Little Richard the day he met John.
Yeah, and every encore that the Beatles did was either a Little Richard song or I'm Down, which was a Little Richard's tribute. So definitely influenced by Little Richard. But then Robert Plant, I thought it was, said he was really influenced by Little Richard also. And the Lonnie Donegan, the skiffle that did Rock Island Line, it was in the Led Zeppelin movie and it was in the Beatles anthology. So I've got some Lonnie Donegan 78s coming from England. So I should have them in a couple weeks. So I'm going to give Lonnie Donegan and Little Richard a lot more serious playtime.
Brad Parnell said Mike's parents were the ones from Liverpool. And Brad Parnell also said, so I Married an Axe Murderer is my favorite Mike Myers movie.
Okay. That's a different Mike Myers.
That's the same one. He's the one that marries an axe murderer and she.
Oh, okay.
It's the same.
You know better than I do.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Jerry C. said, I truly hope that Paul retires gracefully and doesn't hold on so long that it really affects his ending impression, especially to fans.
He's such a legend. I'd hate for him to. I don't see how he can ruin that. I mean, the legend, it's always there, everything he did, but I don't know. You can, what's the word? Dilute it a little bit. So Paul is rumored to when Oasis performs in London, Paul is rumored that he's going to perform with Oasis. We'll see if that happens or not. That'll be pretty interesting.
Danny Goldstein asked, how much is that Beatlemania with the Beatles?
The Beatles Mania. My New Hampshire DJ wants that also. But he hasn't confirmed that he would take it. It's $500 at Stone Mint. All right, where are we to now? Some other notes. Talked about the Paul, the French contract. There is an audience recording of the second night from February 12th from the Bowery Ballroom that's up on the YouTube. I need to listen to all of it. I only listened to the first part of it. Any of you out there listen to it? Is it pretty good?
Patricia, real quick.
A Little Beatles Corner said maybe Little Richard was really the king of rock and roll.
That's what I'm beginning to think. For all three of those artists to be so heavily influenced, it's like when Bob Dylan in the movie Complete Unknown, he gets into, who's Edward Norton play? Pete Seeger's car, and he said, "Can I turn on the radio?" And he turned on the AM radio, and Little Richard was on, and he wanted to hear it, and Pete Seeger said, "No, this is rock. You shouldn't be listening to this." And I think that upset Dylan quite a bit. And Dylan was into the Kinks also when they were playing all day and all the night in the movie. So the Kinks is one of I love those 60s hits. You Really Got Me. That would be one of the best rock songs of all time. What other notes I got? Chappell Roan, she turned 27 today. And since that Grammy performance, and she's had 2 million views on YouTube, 2 weeks ago, Pink Pony Club was 45 on the top 100. Last week it was 18. And this week it's
Pink Pony Club number 9.
Number 9. Say it louder.
Pink Pony Club number 9.
It's number 9. Try not to get too emotionally. I don't know if it could go all the way to number 1, but it's moving up quick.
Probably will.
All thanks to that Grammys performance. So on the UK charts this week, if you guys listen to Lola Young, Nessie is number 1, Lola Young. That hasn't really made it in the United States, but in England they're really into Lola Young. Kendrick Lamar is number 2 with Not Like Us, and Lady Gaga is number 3 with their new song Abracadabra. Pink Pony Club's number 4 in the UK, and she's on the album charts. Give me her album down there. The Rise and Fall, the album.
I know, I'm trying to remember.
Thank you. The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess is number 5 on the USA and the UK charts. How did you get that out of the sleeve?
It was literally right there.
All right. That's the Blood Red record. Okay.
George Music for All Season.
I can read. George Music for All Season said, I would say Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and Jerry Lee Lewis are extremely influential.
Chuck Berry, yes. Chuck Berry, there's a reason they did Roll Over Beethoven as the first song in the Washington Coliseum February 11th concert.
DV101 said, I wish Saturday Night Live had featured George Harrison a bit more.
They just said that Paul Simon said that he did that Homeward Bound with George Harrison there in 1976.
Brad Parnell said the Kinks laid the groundwork for punk along with The Who and the Sorrows.
Yeah, they did. You're right there, Brad Parnell.
Uncle Paul said, I see the Giver pre-order single sold out.
Yeah, I was just going to say that too. That was my next thing. So Chappell Roan, when she was on Saturday Night Live, she did Pink Pony Club, and she did her new song, The Giver. And she did a pre-order on her own site the other day, last weekend, and it's completely sold out. And I got a hold of one of them, but I won't get it till August 19th, the new single of The Giver. And then on the B-side is Fix It in the Morning, a demo. So that's my Chappell Roan. I won't bore you guys anymore with Chappell Roan.
Patricia. I don't know what the hell that is.
A Little Beatles.
I'm just so proud of her that's all I can say.
A Little Beatles Corner said the Beatles hit number 1 with no problem once they hit the U.S. Your girl Chappell Roan can't say the same.
Can what?
Can't say the same. So she's saying that
she don't like Chappell Roan.
She can't do what the Beatles did.
Well, it's still similar to the Beatles story. I know the Beatles. You're talking about a whole different world back in 1964 compared to 2025. All right, let's show some more things.
Uncle Paul said it's nice, Frank.
What is?
I don't know.
Well, guess what you were talking about.
All right. Talked about
Single,
that.
maybe.
Got this in from England the other day with my Led Zeppelin albums. They threw this in as a bonus. First press of Imagine, John Lennon, 1971, a UK pressing with the poster.
George Music for All Seasons said, I'm with you, Sticker Mania. Chappell is very talented.
I don't know why everybody can't see that. I keep telling people around the grocery store about Chappell ROAN. They said, I never heard of her. And I said, you will.
It's just opinions.
So that's my Imagine album is a 2U, 1U matrices on Imagine. That's already up on my Sticker Mania 2853 eBay store. And it does have the original poster with it. eBay store Sticker Mania 2853. And then our
Okay, let me grab this first and I'll put this one down.
Then our YouTube, Mr_Stickermania@yahoo.com. Every week I get a few more people that figure out that email and get a hold of me about something I show on my YouTube channels.
When Uncle Paul was talking about your emotions earlier, it's just nice when you show your emotions. And then do Daniel real quick.
Can I put this up?
Just do Daniel.
Daniel Castillo said, people are often stuck in the past and it's fine to adapt to the present. Everything evolves through time.
Yep, time marches on. At least the Beatles are getting reinvented, where I think the young generations will keep discovering when I'm gone. Got a collection in from Pittsburgh, another memorabilia collection. A lot of nice things in there.
You need to get new tape.
You're correct. Got the first magazine, major magazine in the United States that had the Beatles on the cover from February 24th, 1964, Newsweek. One of a harder book to find, Out of the Mouth of the Beatles. Out of the Mouth of Beatles. It doesn't say the in there. So it got a lot of crazy pictures with crazy captions in there. They're pretty funny. And this sold for $1 in 1964. And this magazine sold for 30 cents. This was in the collection because it was Pittsburgh. A DJ called Clark Race was a DJ in Pittsburgh, and he this was a postcard that Clark Race called "Hello Beatles Cracker Hello." Well, that's only the second time I've ever had that postcard there. The Life magazine from August 1964, right before the Beatles went on tour all across the United States, and they played, what was it, like 30 shows in 31 days.
30 shows in 31 days? Jesus.
Can you imagine a group trying to do that now?
No, I'd be annoyed.
And they were always traveling in a bus or their own jet. So this is all articles from Pittsburgh newspaper. Showed you Indianapolis last time. They played Pittsburgh September 14th, 1964. Showing the Beatles arriving in Pittsburgh and how crazy the fans went. Barbershop Quartet candidates, swinging fans report on Beatles. All right. Shout out to Eric Cash I got another Flip Your Wig game coming in, Beatles 1964 Flip Your Wig game, and he just sent me this brochure that was in the original Flip Your Wig games from Milton Bradley. So I should have that in the next couple days. Let's talk about some purchase history that I got coming in. Tomorrow I'm scheduled to get a second state butcher cover number 3 East Coast that I'm going to peel. And I'm scheduled to get a 2014 Beatles mono box set that's still in the shipping box, never been taken out. And I have a promo on Atlantic Records. It's from this is a 1973 of I can never say it right. I think Mazzy knows how to say it right. The Iron Maker. But I have a promo of Whole Lot of Love coming in tomorrow that has Elite King Curtis on the B-side. And some other things I got coming in the next week, a Remco doll set, a hard body set. I have the soft bodies up there, but I got the hard bodies. They're harder to get, and they show up a lot better. You want to get the Remco dolls to show, my soft body one.
Ow.
Are you good?
No.
I got the Anthology Laserdisc box set sealed coming in. I know that Mikey Arugula's got one of those. I got my Mikey Arugula shirt on. And Mikey Arugula and I are going to do another joint Every Little Thing Beatles next Wednesday on February 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We don't have anybody lined up to be a special guest on that. Any of you out there in the chat today, get a hold of me if you want to be a special guest on next Wednesday, February 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Uncle Paul did a great job of being the special guest last week. I got the 1970 Beatles Fan Club original record coming in the shrink. And I got a Led Zeppelin 1977 tour program coming in. This is a songbook for Led Zeppelin 2. That's a hard songbook to get. And it even has super hype music on down there in small print. They didn't use that. That was taken out of everything that was later pressing. They weren't allowed to use that super hype. Abbey Road, I got a 1969 Ampex tape. 7.5 inches per second reel tape coming in. I got this great big 1977 rubber sole mirror. It was a promo mirror coming in. I had it once in my lifetime before. I hope it doesn't get broke in the shipment. And I got a set of all 4 of these Beatles. I got Ringo here. I got a set of all 4 of them coming in here in a couple days. The original 1967 Look magazines posters you sent away for, they were 22 by 33 inches in size.
William
Look
said,
at this, what we couldn't find the other day. It was behind there. I can't believe that. I got another one coming from Harry now. We looked all over the place for that. It was behind that poster.
we missed that one.
We missed that one.
William said Beatles Forever. DJ Marino says I want a single version of Whole Lot of Love, 7-inch, 45 RPM.
What about it?
And that's what he's looking for.
I got it coming. It's an edited 3.5 minute version. I should have it tomorrow.
And then Uncle Paul said, thanks, Frank. Daniel said, hope Greg Fio comes through as a guest.
I don't know if Greg Fio would want to be up there or not. We'd be, that's fine with me. It's somebody's got to commit to it and do some homework and be ready to do it. We got this 1965 Paul McCartney Soaky. Pretty good shape, made across the river there at the Old Colbert Gate Palm Olive plant.
Daniel says, I remember buying Beatles Rock Band as a youngster. Feels like yesterday.
Yep. I got the Little Richard I talked about, and Lonnie Donegan coming in. Those are most of my purchases. Some other things to show. Led Zeppelin. You can put those away.
And he's a t-shirt guy. Say Greg Fields at Paul Saltzman seminar about the Beatles. It said in India. I don't know if that's true. I can't imagine that. But if he's in India, then that's crazy.
So my Led Zeppelin got a lot of attention on that short I did. My Led Zeppelin turquoise. And I got the Red Plum record to go with it. I was playing it the other day. It's just amazing. You really appreciate this first album a lot more after the seeing the Becoming Led Zeppelin in IMAX theaters. Now that IMAX theater showing is completely over with now, and it's showing at regular theaters, and people are pretty bummed out. But they did have their 3 days to see it, and that weekend, several weekends ago, they should have went and saw it like I did. I saw it on the first day.
I'll give you Paul.
So the Led Zeppelin 2. There's my Red Plum version of Led Zeppelin 2. Still doesn't sound as good as the Led Zeppelin RL. My Led Zeppelin 3 UK went out in the mail today. This is a USA copy. Dave Evans bought the Led Zeppelin 2 for a couple hundred, or Led Zeppelin 3 for a couple $100. And I got this in today. I played a little bit of it today. Led Zeppelin 4 with the inverted feather on the B side, and it's got the mistake. It says Misty Mountain Top on the label. So this is the first pressing of Led Zeppelin 4 from the United Kingdom. Somebody's interested in that. It's excellent condition. That is $300.
So Paul Saltzman wrote the book Beatles in India. I get it. Okay, so that's why you went to see the seminar for him. Danny, go for it.
Danny Goldstein said my ears still hurt from the movie.
Seeing Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
Daniel Castillo
Yeah, could you believe, for us older people, how loud they had that IMAX theater? It was loud. I took my grandson, but we almost needed to have earplugs on or
That's what
something.
Daniel was asking.
Daniel Castillo said, did the seats shake during the IMAX showing? I watched a couple unknown and Dolby seats were shaking.
No, they weren't shaking, but it was really loud. But it wasn't. Did any of you see it where the IMAX, where it came around to the side, the screen? Because it didn't in the one that I saw here in Louisville.
Brad Parnell said, I walked into a store the other day and the first thing I heard was listen to what the man said.
Listen to what the man said. That's a great story. 1975. I never thought that song was that good, and the picture sleeve wasn't worth that much. But as time goes on, that Nashville sound of, no, not Nashville, New Orleans sound of listen to what the man said. Paul had a way of going to a city and adapted that style to his song that he did, like Nashville with Junior's Farm, and listen what the man said, New Orleans. It has really got a New Orleans feel. It is a great song. A lot of those songs are underrated that Paul did as a solo artist, and we won't realize how good they are until I'm gone and he's gone.
Danny Goldstein said there were like 48 speakers. Yes, I saw it in curved IMAX surrounded sound. Incredible.
Wow, that must have been incredible. I wish they didn't have that set up here. I think the nearest one that has that set up, you have to go to a science theater. I think there's one in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I think I saw a Rolling Stones movie at the IMAX where it was all the way around to the sides. You guys would know what that was. That was like 20, 30, that was 30 years ago. All right. showed most everything. Got any questions? Where are we at on time? We have 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys got some questions for me here for the next 10 minutes?
T-Shirt Express said those songs need more bass.
Need more what?
Bass.
What songs need more bass?
I guess he's joking about Zeppelin, but I don't know.
Danny Goldstein said it's where I also saw the Get Back Rooftop movie. It was amazing.
Yeah, I didn't see that. The Get Back, when they had the special showing. Did any of you see the Shea Stadium? They had a 30-minute special show after 8 days a week. I missed that. That had to be pretty good to see the Shea Stadium in a big screen like that.
Uncle Paul said more cowbell.
I love that.
More cowbell.
That skit's awesome. That one's awesome.
Yeah, I would say Will Ferrell and Eddie Murphy were the stars of the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary.
Daniel Castillo said the Get Back wasn't available for many showings. It was very limited.
You skipped the T-shirt about the Venus and Mars.
T-Shirt Express said.
Oh no, I don't think he's just. I don't know.
So Mikey Rugula, if you buy that Christmas fan club 1963 from me, for you that weren't there at the beginning, one of the best conditioned in the world they only made a couple thousand of these in England. 1963 fan club. This is before the Beatles broke through the world, and it's in the original mailer, and it's got a postal date of December 24th, 1963. Can you imagine getting this in the mail right there when Christmas was?
I get what he's saying now. I do the T-shirt Express on the very last one, the Venus and Mars.
T-Shirt Express said ended in Mars sessions.
No, it's a Venus and Mars.
Venus and Mars sessions need bass.
Bass. Well, they're coming out with a half-speed master, but I've never been a big fan of the half-speed masters from Abbey Road.
Uncle Paul said I did see 8 Days with Shay in the theater. It was incredible.
So Mikey Rugula, when you buy that fan club record, I will send you your Some Girls record to go with your autographed album cover.
And then Dan Johnson said need more cowbell.
Need more cowbell. Who's got the cowbell?
I don't know what that means.
It's a Saturday Night Live skit.
Who's somebody else that was in that skit of We Need More Cowbell? There's a trivia question for you tonight. Who else was in the band? And he's pretty famous now, and he was he was the host of one of the Saturday Night Live things the other day. He was in that band with We Need More Cowbell. Who's the answer?
Me. Okay.
So this is a 1968 USA white album that's got the rare blue hype sticker on it. And it does have the correct continuing story of Bungalow Bill. It has all the corrections that John Lennon got upset about, that they had the error titles in the USA.
I think Jimmy Fallon's the right answer.
Jimmy Fallon is the answer.
Good job, T-shirt Express.
Jimmy Fallon was in the band with Need More Cowbell. So this is a white protector sheet that was supposed to be thrown away, but it accidentally got put in some of the white album. They would protect the photos at the factory when all these photos were cut. They had these little sheets in between the 4 photos. And butcher covers.
Do the George Music for All Seasons.
George Music for All Seasons said, do you have any info on a Four Seasons VJ single stay? And the reverse has a Beatles Please Please Me VJ label. The single was released with the flip Goodnight My Love, which is what plays.
Nope. I got the VJ promo of that I got in trade from my Nimbus Super Cup. VJ promotional copy that's got Misery and Taste of Honey on one side, excellent condition, and Ask Me Why in great big print. They were pushing Ask Me Why, and Anna in small print. butcher covers before we run out of time here. Sold most all my butcher covers. Got a couple more coming. I have my sealed second state still left, and this is a West Coast peeled number 5 butcher cover number 6. It's on my Sticker Mania. Show the pink thing. Sticker Mania 2853 eBay store. I think it's $1,250. And then I think this is $1,500 on my Sticker Mania 2853 store, my West Coast second state butcher cover that I don't peel the West Coast. As time marches on, they've been on there too long and they're too hard to remove unless you really know what you're doing. I'm not an expert on the West Coast. All right, you got your Chapel ROAN hat there. You better put that on.
T-Shirt Express said Mikey Rigla is ordering new shirts. They're gonna be hot.
They're gonna be hot.
And
they're gonna be hot. Mikey, are they gonna be better than these?
Dom233 said, have you sold an Audio 5 Sgt. Pepper before? If so, how much?
I've never sold an Audio 5. This is the 3rd Nimbus Supercut that I've had.
Brad Parnell said,
I sold 2. This was handed out at the premiere of Chapel ROAN. That poster that we showed was inside this mailing tube, and it's got a little thing on the back here. It's got Chapel ROAN there on the bottom.
Brad Parnell said they have ukuleles decorated like Rubber Salt, Abbey Road, and the Yellow Submarine, as well as just Beatles. George Music for All Seasons said, do you ever come across the VJ record catalogs from 64 and 65? Seems those are the hard to come by.
Yeah, I've had that twice, that little catalog from 64, 65 VJ records.
Uncle Paul
So the
said,
Nimbus Supercut, I'll finish this up and then I'll take some messages. I've sold 2 of these at $7,000, and I did a cash trade deal on this for $5,000. And then my sealed Beatles Magical Mystery Tour that was originally $10.99 from 1977 in Germany. I traded for that $400 in trade. All right, any finishing messages we got here?
Nope. T-Shirt Express said, much better than those shirts. I had no control over those shirts. Now I do.
T-Shirt Express has got control over the shirts. Did he make these?
No, he said he didn't make them. That's why he said they're going to be better than new ones are.
All right. Meet the Beatles. I thought I had our first issue. I got the books.
Ow!
I got the shirt. 3 more things to
It's my
show.
friend. Give it back.
Somebody's interested in buying this unworn shirt of Smashing Pumpkins, The World is a Vampire. Never been worn, never been washed, extra large. Because as soon as you wash them, this silver would start cracking and stuff. The Smashing Pumpkins Infinite Sadness.
Drop it down.
Sadness Tour. And it's got a 1996 Smashing Pumpkins Tours Incorporated in small print. So I sent out an offer of $399 on that on my Sticker Mania 2853 eBay store.
I think Daniel's asking that for the t-shirt guy. He wants Daniel asked, can you make a t-shirt of that? So I'm thinking he's asking.
Oh, the Led Zeppelin? I would take that off and show you, but it's so fragile I don't want to take it off there. So I got this Bruce Spicer book from 2000 in today, The Beatles Story on Capitol Records. This is the first volume, all about the singles. The second volume's got a big section on the butcher cover, and it's signed from 2000 there. It says, to Paul, a significant fan of the Beatles, Bruce Spicer, year 2000. That's 25 years ago.
Jesus.
And then my George Harrison book is up there on my Sticker Mania 2853 eBay store. I sent out an offer today of $1,900 on this. 50 Years Adrift by Derek Taylor. This is the expensive version of this. Got the gold, what do they call that? Gold leaf pages. It's got the little Monterey Pop. I can get the little ticket out of there. Bookmark. And then on the first 2 pages, it's signed, hand signed by Derek Taylor and George Harrison. They made a limited edition on this. This is number, somewhere it says the number. They made so many of these, and I'm not sure where it is.
That 50 up in the corner of the.
No, I don't know.
George, Music for All 4 Seasons, said he liked the t-shirt, The World is the Smashing Pumpkins.
$399 and it's yours. Give me $350 through my YouTube channel, and I'll save on eBay fees. Give me the white. You gotta get a hold of me at Mr_Stickermania@yahoo.com. One of the nicest conditions you'll ever see, from 1996, size extra large, never been washed, never been worn.
Here's some notes for you all.
All right, I think that about wraps it up here from Louisville, Kentucky. We didn't
Someone
talk.
asked what the Capitol box is going, or Capitol book is going for.
The Capitol book I would sell for $100 to my YouTube channel. $100 shipped.
Goodbye.
George Music for All Seasons, the 2 asked that as well.
All right, we'll be back on Saturday. It's at our normal time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, we need a third person. We need a special guest on our next Wednesday, February 26th, with me and Mike Arugula, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you're interested in being a special guest. Thanks a lot, Sticker Granddaughter. Thanks a lot, my son, director, and thanks a lot from Louisville, Kentucky. Be safe.